Mr. Chris has said a lot of things on the podcast, but he really meant this.
So we're definitely going to hit 150,000 for tier 3. So that's good. They also said that they identified a significant amount of edit spamming and abuse. And at this time, we asked those in our community participating in this behavior for the purpose of clearing tiers to stop spamming, submitting abusive edits, and violating our policies. Hello, agents, scouts, trainers, keepers, pilots, hunters, AWOLers, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. Welcome to episode 212 of the Wayspotters podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you
gonna hit 150,000
become a better wayfinder.
So that's
Wayspotters is brought to you by the good people at the Pokémon Professor Network
edit spamming
and our good friends at
Pickaxe. We
Pickaxe.
asked those in our community participating in this.
And today is Thursday, January. It's February 5th.
Submitting abusive
I did not change that in my notes, clearly. It is February. And with me, as always, is Jamal. How's it going, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Good. Busy. Very busy.
Yeah. There's been like 2 or 3 things going on, like in life and in Wayfarer, huh?
Yeah. I would just like to thank everybody again for giving me space last year. This is the 1 year anniversary of my brother-in-law passing.
Significant amount of edit.
It's been a bit of a week in my house, so we got a bunch of stuff going on. So I've taken a couple of days off of work.
Of clearing tiers to stop.
I saw your wife's post on Facebook, and I put a little care emoji on it. I know that anniversaries like this always dredge up like the best of feelings and the worst of feelings. So let her know that we're thinking of her here in the house. So
I appreciate that, and I will relay that message to her. Other than that, we've been busy. Lacrosse is coming up. Jackson's first tryout for the U15 team is on my birthday, which is fun.
Definitely going to hit 150,000.
You know, since we've been, the algorithms in the world are really weird. Since we've been talking about lacrosse on the show, I have been getting lacrosse highlights in my algorithm, in my feed. Like, it's so weird. Like, I've known about lacrosse, but like I sent you that clip the other day of that brutal hit.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. If you guys haven't seen it, just type in brutal hit in lacrosse and it's bound to come up. So essentially what happened was the goalie for one team got the ball and like threw like this like legendary outlook pass all the way down the field for his forward who was streaking kind of from the right to the left, and the opposing goalie like came out of the crease and just laid this guy out. I mean, hit him right in the neck, just laid him out. I mean, it was a brutal hit. Like, it was a hit like in the 80s. We would have celebrated like, oh my god, rub some dirt on it. But I mean, I immediately thought this guy's got a concussion, if not worse. Yeah. And his teammates did what they were supposed to do. They came and defended his honor, and it turned into like 4 fights across the field. And it was just a melee, and the announcers were going nuts. I mean, it was wild.
Yeah, it was Ryan Hartley. Okay. Was the goalie. So if you just Google Ryan Hartley hit, you'll see it.
Yeah.
And like, you're right, 10 years ago, and this is, people were very divided on Facebook about this. They were going back and forth, and people were just like, 10 years ago, we would have just been like, this is great, and it would have been, and I'm like, yeah, it's almost like in the last 10 years, we've discovered that concussions were bad.
Right.
So like the NFL's going through this whole thing with CTE and concussions, and now people are wearing Guardian caps, and people like, in the NHL, they're protecting headshots. They
identified a significant amount of edit spamming.
The biggest problem with this was that the rule in lacrosse is that you can lay someone out like that 100%, but you have to let the player catch the ball and then establish himself before you go and lay him out like that, and that was the problem. So he got 10 in a game for that. People were like, no, that's legal. And I'm like, then why did he get kicked out of the game? Right. If it was legal, he wouldn't have been kicked out of the game.
Yeah. He definitely didn't catch the ball, and he definitely didn't establish himself. I mean, I'm sure he saw it coming out of the periphery, but my God, he got laid out like, oh.
They also said that they identified a
significant amount. I showed it to Jackson. It's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, I'm glad as a goalie you recognize that you can't.
Yes, exactly. No, it's just weird. Like, we talk about things and then it just shows up in my feed on, but only on TikTok.
That's what it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed when you said that. I showed it to my wife, and I'm like, Jamal's getting lacrosse TikToks again. She just kind of laughed. She goes, you know that's your fault, right? I'm like, oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I know that's my fault, and I love it.
But the thing is, though, like, lacrosse is one of those sports that I've always been aware of, but I've never really sat down to watch it. Until you started talking about the Firewolves, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay attention. And I'm like, man, this sport is like these dudes are like athletic. Like, they're not like super huge, but they're muscular, but they're lean and they're fast and they're agile. And I'm like, man,
yeah,
like, you know, it's like they're as tough as hockey players with less gear.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly what it is. And a lot of people, when they first start watching lacrosse, they see how violent it can get, and they're just like, is that legal? Like, yeah. So why isn't he wearing shin pads? Can't run in shin pads.
Can't run.
They also said that they identified a significant amount of
it's just the way it is.
I saw someone call it controlled chaos. Like they said, think of like a full lacrosse field and shrink it down to the size of something just bigger than a hockey rink and have all of the speed and the violence, but you have it in a controlled area. And I'm like, that's fantastic. That's almost like what's going on in Wayfarer right now. Controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. Yep. Speaking of Wayfarer, let's jump into the news before we turn into a sports podcast.
And now, the latest Niantic spatial and Scopely news from the Wayspotters podcast, presented by the Pokemon Professor Network.
I've only got one thing this week. The Wayfarer team has identified an issue with the map syncs. So not only the map on the Wayfarer website, but Pogo's map as well. They're investigating, and they've performed a couple of manual syncs in the meantime. They will probably keep continuing to do that, but they are investigating. So if you've had stuff approved in the last few days, like earlier this week, and it hasn't shown up on the map yet, just be patient. Mm-hmm. There's tons of people posting on the forums, right? So it's just they keep saying, yeah, we're aware. Yeah, we're aware. We're working on it. And then you asked whether or not they had fixed it. And then I think it was Niantic here was just like, yeah, no, that was us. We just did it manually. So,
right. Yeah, we just did it manually.
It is something that they are aware of and they are looking at. We got a couple of comments that I wanted to read this week too.
Cool. I love comments.
This one from Reddit that I think you shared with me from the Niantic Wayfarer subreddit. It was the user Exact Philosophy 903 said, Jamal, it's over, bro. Chris is going to check your location and do a little cleanup of your beloved neighborhood signs. Wayspotters becoming way janitors. And it's funny that someone said that on Reddit, because a couple of people in the Discord were I was talking about not getting enough reviews, and then someone was like, oh, you maybe did change your bonus location to not here. Don't do it to here. No, don't do it to here. Not here.
That's right. I saw that.
What are you talking about?
You're like, who, me? What?
You, me? So then someone was like, yeah, just avoid the northeastern United States. And then someone else was like, oh, no, avoid the northwestern United States. So I'm like, all right, change home location to northeast United States, change bonus location to northwest. United States, reject everything. It's like, be careful what you ask for. And then I was like, guys, I have enough things to clean up in my own area.
Mm-hmm.
I am like daily, I'm using my 2 reports because I've already used my 40. And now I'm just using it 2 every single day. And I've got a list that's probably going to take me like a month and a half to get
I was going to say, you're never going to get back up to 40, are you? Like, not anytime
soon. Not for a long time. Not for a long time. And it's all stuff it's all the imports that are just dotted all over the map. And like some places have like 3. And it's there's a Pokéstop and then 3 imports for the exact same thing. And I'm just like, I can't. It bugs me when I open up the map and there's just all these dots everywhere that are completely useless. I'm like, I've
been going through and removing schools because there's a lot of imports at schools. And you know what's funny? Like the ones I shared with you were at my daughter's school, and I'm like, oh, that's easy. I know where that is. I know that's a school.
Yeah. I haven't found many of the schools up here for some reason. I found a lot of stuff just on people's houses, and most of them aren't even in the power spot rotation, but some of them are, and I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, it's on your house. So
it's on your house. PRP.
See you later. The other one, and this is a really good idea, that when we were talking about those Pokéstops on the street corners that neither one of us thought of, on YouTube, the RS Typo replied, in my opinion, they should have Wayspots replace these street Pokéstops if one were to be submitted. So if you had a street or a bus stop in a L17 cell and you find something eligible in that cell, if you nominated it and it gets approved, it should eliminate the import Pokéstop. And I think that's brilliant, because you don't have one brilliant idea. Right? I think it's a great idea.
Well, that would require Niantic to acknowledge that they're cells, which they won't. But maybe we could ask Niantic if someone found a eligible POI in proximity to a bus stop or a street corner. Could that happen? Now, I don't know what kind of engineering or coding it would take, but that's a great idea. So RS Typo, that's a fantastic idea, because I think that gets to what Niantic wants. They were trying to help, what was it? Low density area. They wanted to help out trainers in low density areas. And so if that motivated a trainer in a low density area to nominate something within proximity, I won't say cell, I think that that completes the mission of what Niantic was trying to do, I think. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. So shout out to that person for coming up with that idea. I'm definitely going to, I think we should reach out to the Wayfarer team and kind of poke them with that one and say, hey, listen, this is good. This is good. You're right. They don't have to necessarily acknowledge cells exist. They could say, hey, if something close to whatever shows up, we'll get rid of this one and give you that one, right?
That's what I said, proximity.
Acknowledge proximity, right? So
now we all know it's like cells. It's like, you know, we're all doing the meme of oh God, I don't even know what her name is. You know, she's doing the wink. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, we're definitely in the proximity wink of something else.
So that just goes to show you, if you make a comment on one of our socials, we will read it, good or bad. We will read it. So
absolutely, yeah.
100%. Some of the ugly stuff that's just kind of mean, I won't read, but you know, that's fine. I got big shoulders, but these are like two really good things. So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, let us jump into topic number 1.
This is Elf from Space, and I spot topic number 1.
Topic number 1, we're going to do a deeper dive into the map. We talked about it briefly last week, kind of the end of the show, but I wanted to talk about the vanilla map versus the Wayfarer, like the plugin map, and talk about the differences between the two, and a list of identified issues that the ambassadors have brought to Niantic, and it's long. So ain't nothing small and humble about this map, and that is an understatement. Way back in May of last year, episode 174, we talked about life as a Wayfarer without a map after Niantic Scopely split from Niantic Spatial, and the IITC map essentially became a glorified S2 cell overlay. Like it wasn't going to sync, right? So wonder no more, the map is here, and they have fully acknowledged that this is only version 1, and they did the same thing with the web submit. They did the same thing with the new UI. They said, hey, this is version 1, we're excited about it, we're gonna do more, but we wanted to get something out to you first. So the Wayfarer team is definitely not afraid to give us less of a, like I don't want to say beta version. It's more polished than a beta version, but it's definitely not like a full 1.0 release, if that makes any sense.
It's we're working on it. We want 1.0 to be great. So here's 0.5. Tell us the flaws so 1.0 can be as good as it can be, which I like, because a lot of times when companies do a V1, it's like, ooh, you should have had somebody kind of check this over. So this is kind of what they're doing. We're kind of there. Like, I know you don't want to use the word beta, but we're kind of their beta testers on a 0.5, so the V1 will be as good as it can be.
Yeah, for sure. And this is definitely something that a lot of people have been clamoring for, because people are just like, oh, I don't understand why, you know, my Wayspot isn't here, or it got marked a duplicate of something and I don't understand why. And people were like, well, we used to be able to tell you, but now we can't. Or we used to be able to look at, proximity to other things, but now we can't because we don't have a map. Right. We don't have a map. We don't have a map. I think Niantic was finally like, okay, fine. This is good enough. Here you go.
Yep. You can see it now.
Here's something just jushy for now. And it was on the roadmap too, right? So, and we're going to talk about the roadmap in topic 2. So I think they were at the point where they're like, okay, we need something else. We need to get something else out to keep on track with the roadmap, right? So let me pull up the vanilla version of the Wayfarer map. I purposely moved myself away from where I am because it'll go back to where you are. So I didn't want to dox myself.
Exactly.
Too bad. Share.
Well, while you're pulling it up, remember, there's already that one spoofer that knows where. Well, they got close to my house. Remember that picture I sent you? They were like 3 houses away from my house, and I'm like, damn, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey, I think I'm at your house, and I looked outside, and I'm like, oh, you're at my house, quote unquote. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they sent me that screenshot, but they weren't quite there yet.
I am going to have to... You're going to have to bear with me a second while I do this, because apparently I can't share... I opened it up in an Internet Explorer, but it won't let me share it.
Interesting. Did you... So you have the vanilla. Were you able to get your plugins fixed also?
I did. I did get my plug... Actually, you know what? Hold on. I might be able to break my plugins. Because I know what the problem with my plugins is. It was one switch. So let me...
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
It was like, you go into the settings, and there's a little setting called Enable User Scripts that was just off. I'm like, isn't that the whole point of Tamper Monkey?
Right. That's what I thought.
Allow user scripts. So I was like,
I'm confused. Come on, guys.
Manage extension. Allow user scripts. If I turn it off, I close Wayfarer. I open it back up. Will it? It does not. Perfect. Okay, so let me get back to programming on the air. Wayfarer map.
Love it.
Antic Wayfarer. I think this is it. Nope. That is the other version.
Just the plug-in version?
Yeah. Let me just close that. Click share again. Aha! Here we go. Cool. So this is the basic generic version, vanilla version. I don't want to say generic. Generic's a bad word. The vanilla version of the Wayspot map. And you can go in, you can click on any Wayspot. So it has the orange dots are the ones that are in game, and then the white dots with the orange circle around them are the ones that are not in the game. You can go all sources, you can go community, or you can go other. So it will just show you the imports. So like this is one of those I wasn't talking about. This is the Jubilee Pavilion, and the Jubilee Pavilion. It's in the Najube. So that is 4 imports for the exact same restaurant.
Right.
You can tell it's an import because it's got no photo, no description. But if you were go to community, you can click on something. It'll show you the main photo. It'll show you any other photos that you've got. So you can click view all the photos. You got a title. You got your description. It tells you what it is. So this one's a Pokéstop. It tells you the address. You can copy the GPS coordinates. Right at the top, it says it's in-game, community contributed, and that's about it. You can go to satellite. So this is the park down by where everyone does community day. Like this place is tricked out. Like
it looks like it.
There's very few cells in here that don't have something in them.
Right. I'm looking at that and I'm like, I don't see anything that's open.
Yeah, there's like one like right in the middle here that used to have something in it, but I had it removed because it doesn't actually there. But there's nothing there. That's like there's like nothing in that little cell there, so, which is unfortunate. But like you go down to the beach here, and there's a bunch of signs on the beach, and then there's a lighthouse at the end. So this is basically what people were asking for, like generically. It gives you everything that you really need.
Yeah. And so for those of you who are audio only listeners, I would encourage you this week to go check us out. If you are an Apple podcast listener, check out the Spotify version this week, or go check out the YouTube once it's posted, because it's tough to describe everything that we're looking at, but the video version really shows it. And if you want to kind of get a good deep dive into the map, do that. We'll do our best to try to describe it, but some of this you just kind of need to see. So I know we've gotten feedback, Chris, that a lot of people are like, I just like to put you on in the car and listen. But this is one of those that if you really want to see it and you haven't really dealt with it, go find us on the video version and you can kind of see what we're talking about. I just wanted to jump in for sure.
So couple of the issues that we as a community and mostly the ambassadors have identified is that one of them, the big one, is like you can't, that's as far away as you can zoom is right there. And that's not, if you're trying to plan Pokéstops and trying to see what's in a wider area, like you can't zoom out very far. And like it tells you right on there, it says, hey, zoom in or search a more specific location to see wayspots, but like it's one of the big ones, and I think that this is something that Tintino and Niantic have acknowledged that they know is an issue. So,
to me, this is to me the only issue I have with the map. I have the plugins, so I can see everything else I want to see, but the zoom to me is the one thing, and I know they're going to fix it, but I don't have. Some people have had a lot of problems with it. That's my only issue.
Yeah. There's a couple other issues. Let's go through the list. There's a long list. It's on the forum. We can share the link if people want to look at the whole list, or you can go and check out the post on the forums in the show notes. It's a long list. There's a lot of things on there. I'm not going to list every single one of them. I picked out some of the bigger ones. The map is delayed. Even when the Pogo map was syncing, the map was delayed even further. Wayspot data was about between 3 and 27 hours. They hadn't nailed it down. But the Pokemon Go data, like the gym Pokestop status, was about 22 hours delayed. I think that might have been a symptom of what was already wrong rather than the way that the map was designed. So I'm hoping that when they fix the overall sync issue, that gets fixed as well. I've noticed, because I've been using the map to help people on the forums with some of their stuff, that the location search bar doesn't work every time.
Correct.
It works sometimes, not every time. Decreasing the browser height reduces the width of the POI side panel until it's unreadable or unusable. So this panel on the side that's got the title, the photo, the description, all that information there, if you resize your browser at all, it gets all wonky. There's Google Map issues, buildings not showing on light or dark mode. There's not an option for hybrid satellite style. So like if you're looking at it in satellite, it doesn't have any of the streets. It doesn't have any of the like the building names. So like if you're another thing, you can go in and these 3 dots at the top. So if you click on a wayspot, it's got the little X so you can close it. But if you click on the wayspot, the 3 dots at the top, you can click report, and you can report things directly from the website.
Right.
Chef's kiss. And you also get directions to it. So if you're like, hey, I want to go look at that, click directions, and it gets you Google directions, which is fantastic. There's no street view option. I don't know if we'll ever get a street view option on this. It would be really, really cool.
It would be cool.
I don't know that we will.
Chris, street view option would be really cool if you could do live nominations from this.
Oh, dude.
Sorry. I don't
imagine.
I know that you love that idea. And street view, like you could go into this park and go, wait a minute. there's a gazebo there that is not nominated, and you could street view and yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Yes, it would be. You'd have to go out and get pictures, but
yeah, you'd have to go and get pictures.
If you could go in and street view and try and find stuff from this map, that would be fantastic because it would give you a relation to everything else that's on the map.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a lot of issues with translation and localization of languages. Like there was no Indonesian support, and the ambassadors provided 125 translation suggestions across 15 languages. So that seems like something that they would have nailed down before they released it, right? But
because Niantic is such an inclusive company, you would have thought that someone would have said language support for these languages that are widely used. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Would have been important, yeah. No, right. For sure. Lack of persistent memory for used filters. So if you filter stuff, it doesn't stay.
Right.
If you end your map, say, I'm like, okay, I want to look in this area. I'm going to go close down. I'm going to go eat some lunch or dinner and then come back. It'll just default to where you are when you open it up again.
It'll go to your local or your current location. Yeah.
I would like that to be like an option. Be like, turn it off or on. Be like, I want to stay here or just whatever. Just default me back to wherever. No ability to show way spots that are not in Pokemon Go, like only not in Pokemon Go. Sponsored stuff doesn't show up on the map. Some campsite way spots do show up on the map, some don't.
Wait, do sponsored stops show up with the plugin? I don't remember.
We will look at that when we get there. I don't know. That's a solid question.
Yeah.
And some imported way spots incorrectly appear as community contributed. So that's a bit weird, but that just means that it's flagged wrong in
the database.
In their database, which is weird. Just weird, but whatever, right? Okay, let's stop sharing that for now. I wanted to talk about, and if you've got any kind of suggestions here, throw them out too, but some stuff that people have suggested in the forums, and I want to give kudos to Niantic Aaron for responding to so many things on the forums. People were just like, how about this? How about that? And he's like, great suggestion. Pass it on to the team. And I was just like, dude, like you're already a rock star. What are you doing? So I really hope that we're talking about this, that Niantic keeps reading the signs from the forums and keeps on pushing forward, and then in version 2 and version 3 or whatever, we see a lot of these suggestions, right? So obviously adjustment to the zoom level is number 1.
Yep.
It's that I think especially becomes more important, and Niantic, again, would never admit this, but when you put the S2 cell overlay over it, it just makes so much of a difference because you can see a wider area, right? So,
and I said that my only issue with the map was the zoom. Now, I don't want people to think that I'm downplaying or poo-pooing some of the other things that you laid out, but to me, that's a make or break. When I say that's my only issue, that's a make or break. Like, that makes it either usable or not usable. The fact that I can't see the street name, it's a nuisance. It's like you got a rock in your shoe. You're still going to be able to walk. It's just not going to be comfortable. So some of those other things, I'm mainly using this map to find open cells to nominate eligible POIs. And for the most part, I am in my own area, or I'm close to where I need to be. So I kind of know where it is. And if I'm on vacation, that's one thing. But that's not a game breaker, as opposed to if I have to be so far zoomed in, I literally can't do anything. So I don't want to downplay the other things that the ambassadors and you have laid out. It's just that's not going to impede my gameplay as much as the zoom issue is. I just want to kind of clean that up a little bit.
No, for sure. And I think that one of the things that I want to see is, a lot of the times, if I'm kind of going around, I will jot down intersections just so I can kind of get my bearings for when I take that to Google Maps to say, okay, give me this intersection, and then I can go and then get the GPS coordinates, or I can write down the intersection, right? So if I'm in a part of my town or my city that I don't necessarily know where that park is, I would like to be able to see the street name on it. So I think that's kind of where people are coming at with that.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100% right.
I would love to be able to, because on Google Maps, you can just right click anywhere on the map, and the first thing in the menu is the GPS coordinates. And then you click it and it copies it to you. I would love to see that on this map. Right?
No, I'm with you. That would be great. I think now, look at your map. You don't necessarily need to pull it up on the screen again, but is that a Google map, or can we tell where that map is from?
I think it's Google. It's got to be Google Maps.
Because when you pull up the Wayfarer Tools version of it with the plugins, it shows Bing on there. It doesn't necessarily call out Google, but it definitely calls out Bing. So I'm wondering if
Bing is a completely different map. If you click on Bing, it looks different than if you click on satellite. It's Google Satellite.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just wondering maybe if it's not a Google-based map, because remember, Google was kind of the parent, had something to do with spatial, and I was just wondering if they were using a different map other than Google, and that's why some of these things are not showing up. Just a wild guess.
It's Google, yeah. I think it is Google.
Now the plugin solves that. The plugin solves that for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that in a second. I've fixed my plugin, so I want to share that in a second. I want to be able to filter by just our own contributions. Like I want to click a filter that says, "Hey, show me everything that I've done." Yep. Especially with the further zoom out, because I've got stuff in Florida, I've got stuff in Plattsburgh, I've got stuff in Northern Ontario, right? I got a pretty wide range of stuff that I've submitted, and it would be really cool to be able to pull up like a bigger map and say, hey, I've gone from here is my southernmost approved nomination, and this is my northernest most. I want to know that distance, right? So I think that would
without having to use the plugin map, just on the native map.
Yeah. And this is something that a lot of people want, being able to edit wayspots from the map directly.
Yeah.
I think. And like, so there's a conversation between, I think it was Tintino and a couple other people about editing locations. And someone was like, it's a bit clunky because you have to go back and forth between the map and the help chat, right? And then I think Tintino was like, well, this is the quickest way that we figured that we could do it. And then someone was like, did you really? Because you could do it from the map like this. And I was looking at it and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Makes a whole
because
lot
like
of sense.
if you go to the chat, you have to relog into Wayfarer. You click on the chat, you got to put your email in again.
Yep.
Right. But if you do it from the map, you're already logged in, so you already have your email, right? If you want to edit a wayspot, when you click on edit, it can automatically put all that information in for you. So you don't have to tell them the name of the wayspot, the coordinates of the wayspot, or the address of the wayspot.
Because it's all there.
And then you can just be like, all right, click on the map where you think it should go. Click. And then it will grab the GPS coordinates, put in, you're done. Like,
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Totally amazing.
That is kind of the big three for me. There's a lot of other stuff that people have suggested. Like the plugins, I think, take care of a lot of what people want. And I think I don't want Niantic to get into this complacency mode and be like, oh, well, the plugins take care of that.
Right. Timbleton will do it.
Timbleton will do it, right? And he did. And like, honestly, shout out to Timbleton and that group for having these readied 4 seconds after the map drop. Like,
that was so nice. So nice.
I was talking in the Go Hub Discord with someone, and they were like, oh man, I can't wait until we have an S2 overlay. And I'm like, good news.
Good news. It came out almost immediately as the map did.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this was done by an ambassador, so they had early access to it. So they just had it all done. right? I'm like, here's the link. There you go. It's done.
So shout out to Templeton.
That was quick.
Shout out to Testone. Shout out to anybody else who worked on that. You know me, I forget people's names, and then people are like, oh, you didn't say me. So if you worked on it, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Let's quickly pull up the plugin version of this map.
My favorite.
Because I think that the things that they've done, and it's just, so they've moved, first of all, they added the S2 cells, which,
and the shading.
Don't do anything. Shh, don't do anything. Shh. And the shading. Yep. They've changed the color of the gyms stops, and you can go in and in one of these things down here, map options, I think it is, and you can just change the colors to whatever you want. They've moved the report button right to the front of it. They've changed the where the main photo, it shows up in a circle, so like it would in the photo disc.
Like it would in the photo disc.
The stuff that's on the map, that's live, that's not necessarily in the game, they've added an icon here that said here. This little grayed out icon of a power spot. So it tells you that it's in the power spot rotation, but not currently active. And the power spots that are active, the icon is lit up and it shows up pink. You can get a Wayspot link, focus map report. You can open it up in Ingress if you really want to. Copy ping coordinates. And if you've got, and we're going to talk about this in a second, so I'm going to give you the floor to talk about your experiment in a second. But if you've got stuff that was rejected, you can just click the submit button and it'll open up the web submit so you can resubmit it. Never in a million years would have. That is brilliant level engineering right there. And so here's one of mine. There's a sign for this building that I tried to nominate because it's an interesting sign, but it got marked as a duplicate for the house that the sign is for. And I was like, fine, I'll give you that one. But yeah, and like you can draw, if you want to know the distance between two spots, you can draw arrows. Hey, like, come on now.
I know you and Agent X are gonna have a field day with that one.
Yeah.
If you haven't already.
Yeah. I have, yeah. It's fantastic. So like, I just think that there's so much that they could do with this map that will make so many people happy that I can't wait to see what they come out with for version 2 or version 1 or whatever version they want to call it, right? So
1.2 or whatever. Yeah.
1.2, yeah. So this weekend I am going to sit down and take a few minutes and go through reinstalling all of these plugins, and then I will release that video probably early next week for everybody. Now that I've nailed down the process and I know where, it took me a couple of days to figure out how to work through all of the things that
where everything was
Hammer Monkey was doing, and I think that that's the problem because nothing else from that video that you and Testone did has changed. The only thing that's changed is that one little flag inside Tamper Monkey, and it's off by default. I think it was on before. So, but I want to kind of just freshen up the video, do another one. So I'll release that early next week for everybody if you want to add these plugins. And it is so worth it. Like, just even if you just do the map ones, because like another thing that it does is it definitely shades in the cells that have something in it, so you can quickly identify the cells that are empty.
And I gotta wonder if Agent X is using the plugins or if he's still doing straight vanilla. I haven't asked him yet.
Solid question. That is a solid question. We should ask him. All right. Do you want to talk about your little map experiment that you've run through?
So let me preface it with this. So I put this in the Discord earlier today, and I'll read it. And I said, we may or may not dive into this on this week's show, but I wanted to share the results of my little science experiment. So when Niantic launched the map, I went through and I resubmitted. First of all, I identified everything that I had nominated that had been rejected. And as you guys know, I'm like, F these percentages. I don't care. People out there care about the numbers. I don't. I just want it on the map. So everything within the range that I could do it, because there's like a 10-kilometer area where you can go in and do this. So I identified that there had been 22 total nominations that had been denied, and I was actually surprised, Chris, over the past X amount of years that I hadn't gone back out and renominated these, but I hadn't. And honestly, the process was pretty smooth. The title, the description, and the supporting information were already filled in on the map, and you could tweak anything right there before sending it back in, and it was super easy. So let me bring up my screen, and I'm going to show you a little something that I had worked on here, and I'll bring this up. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys an example. So what this here is showing you is one that was not accepted, and this is in Charlotte, and you can see it's the American Red Cross, and this was not accepted, and it was denied because it was a generic business, which I don't know. And then I nominated it again, and then it got denied that it blocks emergency services, and it's like, no. But that's neither here nor there. So what I want to show you is, if you zoom in here, what it'll show you is that I nominated it twice, right? It'll show you, so if you click on this one, it'll show you the picture. It says not accepted. And then if you click on the one right next to it, it says not accepted. So the cool thing that the plugin on the map will do, if you've nominated something and it did not get approved, it will show you on the map, and this will show you that I nominated this twice. Now, there's an appeal button on here that if it's grayed out, so you can't appeal it. So maybe that's in version 2. But what you can do is you can click this resubmit button. And what this does, Chris, is it's really cool. It'll say submit Wayspot. It brings up the tool. It'll bring in the main photo and the supporting photo, or any additional supporting photos that you had for there. It has your location. It has the title, the description, and the supporting information. Then at the very bottom, it says you have 24 nominations available today. So, Chris, I've been busy. Because I've been busy. Yep. So, and then you can just hit OK, and then it will resubmit it, and it'll put it back in queue. So I'm not going to resubmit this now, because I don't know if I really care, to be honest with you. I might go take a picture of the big blood drop mural on the inside of the place. But I just wanted to show people that if you've had things that have been denied, your own POI nominations, you can go back and you can renominate them from the map through the tool on the website. So I think that's a godsend. And to kind of further what I was talking about here, so of the 22 resubmissions, Chris, 16 were approved and 6 were denied again. Now, if I'm being completely 100% self-aware, the 6 that were denied again probably should have been denied. So I'll say that. But a few of the approvals, this is what I wrote down, would absolutely make Chris's blood boil if I showed it to him. And a couple were so derpy that I'm almost embarrassed that they made it through. But hey, there's one of them that's going to turn something into a gem. So if you haven't explored the map yet and you haven't checked up on your old rejections, you should definitely give it a look and renominate them. Now, you have to have the plugin installed like I showed you to complete this action. And just remember, there is a buffer of 10 kilometers. And I think I told you, Chris, there was one that I was trying to fix that was 10.1 kilometers. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 10.1 kilometers? And I haven't quite figured out the plugins on my phone, so I might have to go back and do that one the old school way. But my little science experiment is kind of a bigger science experiment that I'm working on, and I shared this with you a while ago, that things are just flying through the queue at a supersonic pace. Like, I don't even get to upgrade something and it's already on the map. So what day was it last Wednesday? It was last Wednesday when the map dropped, right? Because I remember we joked that thank you, Tintino, for dropping it on a Wednesday because we record on a Thursday. And I think the plugins were ready Wednesday evening or maybe Thursday morning. And we are 1 week later. Today is Thursday. February the 5th, and I've got a decision on 22 POIs, Chris, in 1 week.
Wow.
22. It would take me 8 months in old Wayfarer to get 22 decisions. And I got 22 decisions in a week. So you saw I only had 16 left, and there's been a few days that I hadn't. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why things are moving so quickly. It's like you never want to look at Gift Horse and the Mouse. I don't care why it is, but I'm just trying to figure out what they did. What have they done differently? Because I think we've both speculated that there are less reviewers now because some of the Ingress people have kind of taken their ball and gone home. So there's less reviewers, but things are going through faster. And if my little science experiment is scientific at all, out of 22 things that were originally voted down, 16 went through. I think that says something. You know, that 16 things that were deemed not good enough in the last 3 or 4 years have gone through now. Now, the 6 that didn't go through, I'm not even going to show you because they were just kind of like, throw it against the wall. Okay, it didn't stick. No, probably shouldn't have stuck. And it's ones that are like, I don't even want to risk nominating that one again. This one, I might like the Red Cross. Like, I nominated it way back when, and then I renominated it, and there's probably a better picture I can take of the Red Cross and a better nomination and description I can write for that, because I don't know what criteria the American Red Cross fits, but I feel like it should be in the game as a point of interest, because people go there to, you know, I don't know. I got to figure out which criteria it meets, because it's definitely not a place to exercise. Is it a place to gather? Kinda. Is it a place to be social? I don't know. I got to figure that one out. But I don't necessarily want to derail your show with the American Red Cross. However, this is just an example of things that you can do with the map and the plugin, and ways in which you can make your gameplay better. So if you don't want to have to, like right now in Canada, you guys have like what, 2 feet of snow on the ground, a foot of snow on the ground or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
You might not want to go back out and go renominate things that were, but if you can do it from the map in a 10-kilometer radius, that's a lot better quality of life for you because of the snow. So just one of the things I want to bring up in my ongoing science experiment. So 16. So think about this, Chris. 16 new stops in a 10-kilometer radius in 7 days.
Fantastic. It's amazing. I just redid that sign while you were talking.
Nice.
I figured, there it is. I'm gonna give it a try. Because I think that the sign is different than the building. The building is sure the object of the sign, but the sign tells a story. So I wanted to kind of get that in there.
And how easy was that to do just from the map?
Oh, I literally did it while you were talking. It took me 10 seconds. I changed up the supporting information a little bit. I left everything the same. See you later. I noticed that there's a button when it said the GPS coordinate, it says change. I clicked it, and then it was like, whoa, you can't do this. This is 9,000 kilometers away from where you are. The limit is 10. I'm like, no, it's not. So I just canceled it and opened it up again, and it let me do it. So there's something wrong with that change button. Maybe I'll message Timbleton and be like, something's borked about that.
Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, I almost think, and we've talked about this kind of off air before, that Niantic puts out a vanilla map and says, we know that people are going to, like, you know, twerk it up and make it good. And they'll do it the way they want it, where if we did it, we might be breaking our own TOS by doing X, Y, and Z, but we know that there's ambassadors and people that will do it. And at the end of the day, these S2 overlays and everything, it benefits the Niantic Wayfarer team. Like, it benefits them. It makes their product better. So it's almost worth it for them to put out a vanilla map and let the community, you know, make it good.
Yeah. And I think that's why they don't say anything when people talk about the cells on the forums or when people share that link to the GoHub article on the forums. Like, it doesn't get removed. Yeah. Yeah. They just kind of let it happen because they know that, and it's funny when people talk about it like it's fact. And I noticed Niantic Aaron jumping in and going out once in a while, going like, hey, we can't confirm information that comes from third-party sources. And people were like, what third-party sources? And I'm like, guys, just shh.
Just stop.
Leave it. Yeah. Just go, okay, thank you, sir. got it, and just leave it alone because you don't want them cracking down on this stuff.
Turn the light out, shut the door, back away slowly.
Like there's certain areas where the map doesn't behave according to the rules that everyone has acknowledged that we think is the way. There's certain times that the map breaks it. And I think that's why Niantic won't, part of the reason why Niantic won't acknowledge it, because sometimes they go in and they circumvent it and they don't want to have to explain that to everybody.
Exactly.
Like, oh, well, why did you do it there and not here? Why? What's that? Why is this significant? It's like, it's just things get on the map. We don't know how.
Yep.
We think we know how. We're like 99% sure we know how, but every once in a while something happens. We go, that's weird. Yeah, and then as a community, we've just accepted it. We just go, that's it. That's weird. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That's weird.
Yep.
And then when people talking about it being weird, we're just like, that's weird. Just shh.
And some things are better left unsaid. Some things are better left unsaid. Leave it alone.
Take your second Pokestop in that self-17 cell and shut your mouth.
Right. It's like when you go to Taco Bell and you do the order at the kiosk and then you wait for your food and you walk up to the counter and you ask the guy or girl or whatever, hey, can I get my drink cup so I can get a drink while I'm waiting? And they're like, sure. And they give you a drink cup, but then they call your name and they put your food out there and they give you another drink cup. And you're like, you already gave me my drink cup. And they're like, well, we can't take it back over the counter now. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
And it's just take my second cup, fill up my root beer and go. It's like, no, but I only paid for one. And they're like, sir. I'm like, no. And it's just kind of like, just take your cup and go. So the older I get, the more I learn. Take a small blessing. Don't look the gift horse in the mouth and keep it moving.
I ordered Subway to my work week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Because I forgot my lunch at home. So I'm like, I'll just get Subway. So I Ubered Subway to my work. And the guy pulls up and there's no way to get into my work. So I put the I'll meet you outside option. So I'm out there and I'm waiting in the cold. Pulls up, gets out, opens up his bag. And he grabs 2 bags and hands them both to me. And I grab them and I'm just like, are you sure? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay. And I went inside and they had made my order twice. And given him both. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. What the heck?
Because they literally,
like, nah, take this one out.
Yeah. Once they hand it over the counter, they can't take it back. So it's either you eat it or it goes in the dumpster.
Yep. And like, it's funny. It had the sticker on it, like the Uber Eats sticker that they put on their little bags. It had one on each one of the package. So I don't know if it just spit it out twice. And I was just like, hey, cool.
So you know what you do in that situation, Chris? You know what you do in that situation? You take off the sticker, you walk into your boss's office. Hey, boss, I got you a sub. And then you walk out.
I should have done that, yeah. Absolutely.
Next time, do that. Boss, got you a sub. And then your boss is like,
got you a sub. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Just make sure your boss doesn't listen to this episode.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah. I think we've talked about the map enough. I wanted to talk real quick about the roadmaps. Let's jump into topic number.
I wonder what topic number 2 is going to be.
All right. Niantic, I can see your roadmap moving. So let's get into it. 2025-2026 roadmap came out in October. So I feel it's fair to evaluate where we're at, considering that was 4 months ago, October, November, December, January. 4 months. So I'm going to go kind of item by item. There's not a lot that they've actually done on this, so this is going to be fairly quick. Increased opportunities to appeal. I don't think that we've gotten more appeals since October.
We have not.
I think it was right before October that they gave us new ones. I still, honestly, I think we've mentioned this on the show 100 times. I would really like to see if I win my appeal, I get my appeal back.
100%. Or be able to use an upgrade for an appeal.
Yeah, 100%. Right? Like, I've got so many upgrades. Just let me burn 10 of them for an appeal. Not that I don't have anything I want to appeal right now anyway. So, but when the spring comes, I've got a list of like 30 things that I want to nominate once there's not 2.5 feet of snow on the ground. And it's not 20 a blowout. So, actually, funny enough, I was fiddling around with the map while you were talking. After I resubmitted it, I found a couple more. So
nice.
loving this map. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's so many different options you can do.
Increased distance for submissions. I think that's going to come in version 2 of the map. I'm hoping that comes with version 2 of the map, because right now we only get 10 kilometers. And I think, how much was Ingress? I can't remember.
Ingress was 25 kilometers.
And Ingress was 25, yeah.
Which
I knew it was around 20,
yeah. 25 kilometers was glorious.
I would like to get to that. That would be nice. But still waiting. Wayfarer map. Version 1 has been released, so we're there with that one. They've at least given us something there. They've acknowledged that there is more stuff to come, and they wanted to get it out to us, and I think that was the right move. So, like, I don't want to harp on them for releasing kind of a not finished map, but I think releasing what they did in the fashion that they did was the right move. You agree with me on that one?
100% agree with you on that one. Sorry, I got a little distracted. If you take a look at your Discord, something popped up while you were talking, and I saw it, and I had to do a double take, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's not related to Wayfarer. It's not related to Joe.
Oh my god. I'm going to read that later. I don't want to get sidetracked, but yeah.
It popped up on my screen, and I had to do a double take, and I had to make sure that it wasn't from one of those spoof accounts like Adam Schefter. You know, then there's like Alan Schefter, and it's like people don't notice that it's not. I had to make sure it was like legit. So anyway, continue.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. I agree 100% with you.
Okay, cool. Web Wayspot plus edit submission. So the web submission has arrived. We still can't edit, but they have released the web submission. Again, I'm perfectly okay with this, because I think that the edit submission is going to come with version 2 of the map.
Agreed.
And I think that they had to release the map in the format that they did to get it out to us. And I think that was the right decision. Surfacing high quality way spots. We don't really know what that means yet.
Right.
So
I'm interested to see what that means, because I don't really know. I don't know how I would define that. You know, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think maybe we go back to that comment at the beginning, where if something gets approved in a cell that is objectively better than what's already there, maybe the one thing goes away and the other thing comes up, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wayfarer Center and Hub. I'm very excited for whatever that is, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be really cool, but we haven't got anything on that yet. Improved auto resolution. I feel like Emily's getting better. I think just by default, like, I'm seeing way less coal.
When she was turned off for like that 4 or 5 week period, it was bad, but then all of a sudden, very quietly in the background, they fixed it. And I don't see a lot of coal. And sometimes I feel like I'm approving. Sometimes I feel like I'm approving way too much, but there's just not a ton of bad things out there. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just wait to see if I get a cooldown, and we'll just go from there. So
100%.
But like a lot of things, Wayfarer is a game of inches.
I think that it's like, I only get 30 reviews a day now.
Right.
I think I got 46 the other day, and I was like, I was like in Happy Land, because I got so many. Right. And like, I'm tracking my stats every day because I want to hit my end goal. And it's like, oh, you need to do 25 reviews a day. And I'm like, I'm beating that. So like, I'm doing 36. I'm averaging about 30 a day.
You might have to change your bonus location to a big city.
Yeah.
Like a London or a Los Angeles, or somewhere in like South Central Florida, somewhere where there's a lot of population. You might have to do that. It might not be as exciting if you go to, I almost wonder, like, we've been to New York City multiple times, and I don't know that there's just a lot of room there to nominate anything. So it's almost like you might have to go somewhere out west either, you know, whether that's Western US or Western Canada, somewhere where there's a lot of population and a lot of area that's not as dense. Because I just don't know where in the world right now to go.
Needs it?
Yeah, that needs it,
yeah.
you know?
I think the Wayfarer discussion Discord has a bonus location swap channel. So maybe I'll post in there and say, hey, any suggestions on an English speaking area that's got a lot of stuff that needs help? Because I need help getting reviews. So I'm still on track to hit my goal, and I think that even if it kind of stays on this pace, I should be okay because I'm doing enough to keep me ahead of my goal.
Right.
So it's just frustrating when I'm clicking and I'm waiting 5 minutes for it to tell me I'm done.
It's like, great job. So, you're all done here.
I don't want to see that anymore.
After the balloon bounces.
The blue bounces for 5 minutes. Yeah. New Wayfarer rating system and enabling tiered contribution limits. Still nothing on that yet. That sounds really cool and really interesting. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And the leaderboard. The leaderboard was another thing that they haven't kind of done anything with yet. But so I'm gonna quickly give my rating on where I think we're at, and then I'm gonna let you do the same thing. I think this is a solid A. And I know that they haven't done a lot, so I want people to hear me out here. 2 out of 9 items doesn't seem like they've done a lot. But if you do the math, it's 4 months. If you do 2 every 4 months, they're on track to meet all 9 of those goals by the end of 2026. I think they're right where they need to be, and I think they're right where they want to be. And I think that they're in a good spot to start getting the ball rolling for 2026. We know that there's going to be a little bit of a gap in there around GoFest because the teams will be out at the GoFest, so they'll have a little bit of a gap in there where they're probably not working on a whole lot of stuff. But in those other months, I think they're right where they need to be. And if you're right where they need to be, then that's an A for me.
I would agree with you also, Chris. I would give them an A minus. The way that you broke the math down, they had 9 things they wanted to do. And so I think of it this way. That's like 1 a month with 3 months off for GoFest. The prep month for GoFest, the GoFest month, and then the post-GoFest month. We know there's always kind of a drag. So if they can accomplish 1 of those 9 things outside of the GoFest time, I think that they probably will finish early. So I would definitely give them an A or an A minus, you know, because some people are like, you can never get an A, you can never get a 10. But I think the things that they've done along with the map and the roadmap, I think the way you broke it down just in the last 30 seconds, when you're like, if they do 2 of these, a quarter or 2, you know, whatever it is, it's going to come out. So yeah, I'd give them an A. I'm really, the thing that I'm most excited for is the Wayfarer Center and Hub. I want to know what the heck that is. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Is that going to encompass the leaderboard? Because I could see a Wayfarer Center being somewhere where the criteria is housed. It's somewhere where the leaderboard is housed. It's somewhere where you might have like an expert section of the forum where you can interact with an ambassador. Ooh, I just made that up. Interact with an ambassador. You know, something along those lines. Because I think a Wayfarer Center, and obviously you think of like Pokemon Center where there's like special stuff. There might be some swag. I don't know, but that's the thing that I'm really looking forward to the most, to see what their ideas are for a Wayfarer Center and what it looks like.
Yeah, me too. I think that there's a lot that they could do there, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So, and I think that they've given themselves enough time to do these things properly, right? And I think that we're going to get to a point where, you're right, I think maybe they do finish early. So maybe we see version 2 of something, or we see like an upgraded version of a map at some point later on this year, and they don't just get all this stuff out to us to get it out to us. We actually start to see some polished versions of these things, right? So
I'm glad you said it. I was just going to say polished version. We are so in tune right now. I envision, big picture, June the 4th, June the 5th, whatever it is, the first day of GoFest, walk up to a Wayfarer booth. They're going to have that big TV that you can touch, and they're going to have a finished, whatever that is up to that point, version of the map where people can go and look at all of Chicago. And I just envision them unveiling something either in Tokyo or wherever the first Go Fest is, but something that weekend where they're like, here's the newest and shiniest version of the map, and then we'll be able to see it each of the Go Fest places. So that's kind of I don't know if that's a bold prediction, but that would be something if I was doing it that I would want to have an unveiling when you have the masses there to see it.
That's actually a really good idea. That is brilliant. I love that. So fingers crossed that's what happened. That would be amazing. All right. Let's take a quick break, play some dad jokes, and come back on the other side with Waste Spot of the Week and Coal of the Week. Be right back.
This is Darker Solstice, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
This is Elf from Space, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast, the podcast that brings a whole new meaning to the phrase, stop everything.
While you're waiting for your health to restore in Monster Hunter Now, you could be listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
Season 5 of Dad Jokes. You guys keep encouraging him. This is why we can't have nice things.
Last week, I tried to start a landscaping business, but I couldn't make enough headway. I bought shoes from the bread store. They were loafers. I went to a fancy restaurant that only serves clocks. Everything was timed perfectly, but I still left hungry. I opened a bakery just for dogs. My best seller? Pupcakes. My calendar and I are no longer on speaking terms. It keeps bringing up my past. My neighbor asked me if I'd seen his missing ladder. I told him I'd try to step up and look for it. But honestly, that's a really tall order. I told my phone to stop autocorrecting me. It said it needed space.
Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the dad jokes this week. Let us jump into Waste Spot of the Week.
This is Sarah Amanda, and here are some Wayspotters approved points of interest.
Waste Spot of the Week number 1 comes to us from the aforementioned Agent X, friend of the show, Wayfarer Ambassador, and it is Bliss Community Playground. This large playground is in the city park in Bliss, Idaho, and it's a playground. There's not necessarily anything spectacular about this playground. It's got a green enclosed slide that looks kind of like a vine with a bit of brown at the end of it, and then there's a green slide going down the left-hand side. There's a swirl slide going down the back. This looks like a couple of climbing ropes to the top, where it's kind of like a gazebo on top of the playground that's all encased so the kids don't fall off of it. It's a really nice playground. What I love about this is how Agent X takes something like a playground and with the photo that he takes just makes it fantastic. Like the angle of this is there's like a little in the front right of this, there's like a little what looks like you sit in it and then someone spins you. But it also looks like a mushroom. So it kind of fits the theme of whatever this playground is. It's in the foreground and the playground's in the background, and it's angled perfectly.
With the wispy
the
clouds up
in
top.
The background are fantastic.
God, so
this
good.
is just like the epitome of a perfect playground picture.
Yeah.
And I love it so much.
It is so good.
And it's
so
it's
good.
Just a really good example how. So go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it's so good. You see like 4 different things in the picture. The highlight of the picture is the kind of mushroom thing that you spin around, like you said. But then you see the little fortress up top. If I was a kid back in the day, I would have been like, "Oh, that's the jail. We're gonna go capture you and put you in the jail, and then everybody's got to come try to break you out." Like I'm envisioning games being played with this right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's just like the perfect example of how you take something that's a little mundane, eligible, but maybe a little bit mundane, and just make it exciting. And I think that's what it's been encapsulated here. And I think it's fantastic. So shout out to HNX for that picture and that submission. Let's jump into Waste Spot of the Week number 2.
Here is a beautiful example of a waste spot of the week, which may or may not be a 2-story mural.
Right. So waste spot of the week number 2 comes from Sarah Amanda. Speaking of someone who takes great photos and gives good tutorials on how to take photos, Sarah Amanda sent this in, and it is iconic downtown Dallas cityscape mural. And it's obviously in Dallas, Texas. And the description is mural created by mural_elevation_fitness, who is the artist of the mural. Now, again, when you talk about someone who takes great pictures and uses the angles and the shadows of the landscape, this is beautiful. So what you're looking at from left to right is kind of the skyline of Dallas, painted on what appears to be a factory. And the only reason I think it's a factory because there's like a water tower on the far right. I think that is over there. And it just kind of gives an industrial feel. The picture's taken from across the street from where the mural is on this building. So you can see the road kind of going from left to right. And then the buildings are in very bright colors. So there's oranges and there's like aqua blues and purples, but it doesn't look like the normal skyline. They kind of cartoonized it a little bit, but this would be just a blank side of a factory building, but there's some up top what would kind of look like some purple and blues kind of arches, and then you see the buildings, and they're all kind of symmetrical, kind of going from, like a traditional cityscape kind of has that kind of a canopy or kind of an arch on it. It has that there, but this is just beautiful. And then up top, the blue sky and the wispy clouds is just a gorgeous mural. And it's something that like you would drive by and go, ooh, I wonder if that's in the game. And it's like, yep, Sarah Amanda got it in the game.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful mural, and it's a really good job of kind of taking that picture too, because that's a pretty big, wide mural that she had to get a pretty wide shot on, and I think that's fantastic. It's just a really, really good job of doing that. So both really good examples of how to properly frame your waste spot nominations.
That's at least a half a city block, if not almost more than a half a city block.
For sure. Now let's jump into something that's not so great.
I've been working on the Wayfarer all the live long day. I've been working on the Wayfarer just to pass the... Oh no. Hey Jamal, I found some coal.
This is... Actually, let's share this one instead. This is Toasty McMarshmallow Mural, a painting of a chinchilla folded ear cat named Toasty McMarshmallow. He is as sweet as his name implies and best cat in the neighborhood. And it's AI, first of all. Someone has AI'd a picture, like a face of a cat with a bit of space, like literal space behind him, like swirly
like
galaxies and stuff. like Hoopa. And it's on the side of a garage. So first of all, it's this graffiti. It's defacing graffiti. It looks like it's someone's garage at their house.
It's not even good AI.
100%. It's not even good AI. Like, it's terrible. And this was from... Who gave us this? This is from Yamp in the Pokémon Professor Network Discord. And it's just... It's a cute cat, but it's fake. And it's not great.
Yep.
So... there's been a couple of discussions on the forums about detecting AI and kind of picking them out. There's a lot of really good tips in there. So if you get a chance, go check it out. But like, if you're thinking about it, don't
do it.
We can tell.
Yep.
Don't do it. And like people are getting their hands slapped and people are getting bans for it. So
yep, don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not worth it.
You got anything else?
Nothing else, man.
It's definitely not worth it. Cool. I'll go ahead and sign us off. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Wayspotters. We really appreciate it. A big thank you goes out to our executive producer, KatettheKonz, our show historian, Maddie G, and all of our patrons. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. We'd also like to thank our gym leader level patrons, Maddie G, Espion Willow, KJ Demand, Herbert, Brandy, Bridget, Fisher, JZE, and James. And the other executive producers on the network for Good Morning Johto, Monkey Bread, and Lured Up is Xander. And our newest Giovanni level supporter, Boris is Thank you for joining and upping your contributions there. We definitely really appreciate it. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode of Wayspotters, there are a few ways that you can show us. Follow us on all of our socials. We are on Twitter at Wayspotters. We are also on Instagram at Wayspotters Podcast and on TikTok at I Make Wayspots. We are incredibly responsive and love interacting with our followers. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. You can also visit our website, www.wayspotters.com. From there, you can get links to everywhere you can download the show. You can also also send us a message directly from the website or email us wayspotters@pokemonprofessor.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. For those of you who still need to, be sure to check us out, youtube.com/@Wayspotters-podcast. We have started posting all of our shorts on there, so we have one thing going up every single day on YouTube and on Twitter and on Threads and on TikTok. So we are everywhere. Go and check it out. We would definitely appreciate it. Leave us a voicemail on our hotline, 704-426-3710. Or tweet us a voice message. You never know, your voicemail may appear on an upcoming episode of the show. Finally, if you are not a member of the Pokemon Professor Network Patreon, you can join for as little as $1 US a month. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/PokemonProfessor. You'll have access to the Discord for the entire family of shows across the Pokemon Professor Network, including Wayspotters, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, Purified Podcast, Good Morning Johto, Sleep It Off, After Darkrai, and Lured Up. It is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. Jamal and I are active in the Discord quite a bit. Come and hang out. We would love to have you. And with that, we look forward to you joining us again next week here on Wayspotters. We appreciate all the support we get each week. We could not do this without all of you. And remember, it's not that far. Get out of your car.